Right, guys. We're going to be doing a kangaroo and deer dissection today, for our camp cooking tour next week. We're basically going to portion the rear legs up into primal cuts. So basically top side, rump, bell, which is your round steak, and shanks. The rest of the meat we're going to be putting towards mince for either dog meat. I mean, we could use this for human consumption, so we'll be making rissoles and burgers and stuff. I've also got the back end of a deer in the cool room that we got on Wednesday night. So we're going to be doing that, prepping it for next week for the arrival of our guests who are coming out for our tour. Yeah, so as everyone knows, I mean, you've seen in our live videos, I am pretty famous for my kangaroo tail stew. Mo absolutely loved it, and so did the rest of the guys that were out on the last trip. I'd like to thank Mike Kirkman from Macca Knife Rolls for the beautiful Mo Cason knife set roll, and thanks for Mo for the beautiful gift. Really appreciate it. So what I'm going to be doing is just doing a quick breakup of the actual kangaroo, and once I do that, we'll take some snapshots while we're doing it, short videos, and just basically show you guys how to actually process your own stuff. It is much better when you're doing it live, obviously. I mean, the settings that we set it out in the bush when we're carrying out our bush tours are really good. Everybody enjoys it. It's a great way for people to meet and educate people on how sustainable native and wild animals are out in the bush, and how good the actual proteins are. So we'll do a few more clips, a little bit as we're going through, and give you a bit of information on everything. So we'll see you back again. We're just boned out the rear legs of this kangaroo. I'm just doing this last one here right now. Just taking the you guys would call it gravy beef off. Now that's a kangaroo leg. It's only a little fella, but that's really good for roasting. But that broken down, right here, you got your top side, you got your round steak, you've got your two rumps that I've taken off both legs, and that's your gravy beef again, which is really good for stews. I've diced some up into kebabs, ready for kebabs. You can do them into chunks, whatever. They're the actual kangaroo shanks. So I'm gonna actually braise these today with the deer shanks and do a nice braise tonight, like a ragu. Kangaroo tail, getting all this stuff ready for our kangaroo tail stew for next week. There's that gravy beef again. And then what I'm going to do is I'll actually bone this out, and I'm going to roll it out and put some parsley, some rosemary, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and everything. Roll it all up, and that's really good for a bake. So it tastes absolutely delicious. So that'll be ready for next week, but I'm not going to dress it today, obviously. But I will be doing a nice marinade today. Same as what I did yesterday. It's going to have a little bit of chili, rosemary, parsley, thyme, fresh garlic, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and a little bit of lemon. It tastes absolutely amazing. It's a traditional European, Italian background. Obviously, I'm Italian background. Yeah, so it's quite a traditional marinade that we put over our meat. Like, you can pre-marinate it, or you can actually just put it as a dressing on top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this into steaks, get a few pictures going, and then just show you the finished product once we're done. Kangaroo rump steak. Slice up this next one. Top cut. Good morning. Rightio, so we've got the rump steak sliced up. We're now doing the round steak.
Oh, colour.
It's tender as. The kangaroo, mate, I mean, if you get the older ones, yes, it's a lot deeper, but a couple of the younger ones is actually really nice. And you can see that there's no fat, like even on the rump, there's no fat whatsoever on the kangaroo. whatever little fat you do get on it, you got to keep it on there. I mean, there's a secret to kangaroos, but plenty of olive oil. Look at that, it's just beautiful, beautiful, mate. When you're doing your round or your knuckle, cut it about a centimetre thick, about finger, just under a finger thickness. Don't forget, it's got to be a quick sear when you're cooking kangaroo. Obviously there's no fat on it, so just a few things to keep in mind. Just a very light seasoning. You don't need a lot with kangaroo. So that's your round steak. These little bits here, cut them off, put them in kebabs. That's what we do. The rest of that stuff, dog meat. There's not really a lot that comes out of it that you're wasting when you're using kangaroo. I mean, that's the bottom end shank bones. That's your femur bone. I think I've got the right femur bone in the leg. It just goes down, and just a little bit of trimming. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could. I mean, it's decent stuff. You can turn that into hamburger meats if you really wanted to, or just I'll give it to the dogs. I've got ferrets, so I'll feed the ferrets with that. So now I've got the top sides are tiny on a kangaroo, obviously. All animals are different. But that's your top side, and you can cut that into steaks if you really want. Just nice little steaks. Butterfly those because they're small. And you can schnitzel those, you can do anything you want really. I like grilling them on the barbie. Just with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. Just a really simple marinade. If you've got dry rubs, obviously everybody knows I love Moe's stuff. But you can use like any of Moe's products. There's a heap of stuff out there. The other stuff that we've been using is Wild Smoke rubs. They're really good. I used that on a backstrap, venison backstrap yesterday, and the guys absolutely loved it. We had 20 people at the land care meeting in Royalla, and it was phenomenal. So that's your top side, obviously. That's your silver side, and we call it girello. So all we do, this stuff here, it's a little bit small to turn into steak, so straight down, cube it up. Perfect kebab meat. A lot of people don't use the silver side for steaks and that. I cooked it last night for the kids, and it was just tender. It was really, really tender. It all comes down to preparation and everything, I guess, and what you actually like doing. But I mean, look at that. It's just a beautiful meat, really good protein. So we got, I'll bring that back over. So out of one leg, there's a small leg, two legs, sorry. There's not a lot that comes out of kangaroo, but you've got your top side steaks. They're only small. You've got your round steak. You've got your rumps, two shanks, cube meat for you can turn into a stew. I like kebabs. Your gravy beef goes into a nice stew as well. They're pretty easy. They're two small little loins that we took off the inside of it. But for your stews and stuff, just really big thick chunks. I'm going to be throwing these in with our shanks tonight, and just really let them stew down. They'll turn into a nice ragu and just break up. It's just beautiful. It's pretty much a gravy beef that you get on a beef, on cattle. So big shanks. These are tiny. Just chop them up, nice and thick. You want it nice and chunky, and that'll just break down to nothing. So that's two small roux legs. We got the other leg here that we're keeping for next week for our roasts, and you've got your tail as well. Good to go.